Hi everyone, it's me Ida again, and today we're going to be reading another book. This time we have an astronomy book called What is an Eclipse? I personally really love astronomy books, so I hope you guys too love astronomy books, and without further ado, let's start. What is an eclipse? Written by Isaac Asimov. Table of contents. And let's begin. A world of questions. Our world is filled of strange and beautiful things. For instance, from time to time, a dark shadow crosses the face of the sun or the moon. People used to think a dragon was gobbling up the sun or the moon. They would bang on pots and pans to scare away the dragon and bring back the light. Today, we know such changes in the appearance of the sun or the moon are not caused by dragons, but by eclipses. What is an eclipse? Let's find out. So this is what the picture looks like. So back then, people used to think the reason it turns dark or an eclipse happens is because a dragon, as you can see here, this one, a dragon is gobbling, eating the moon or the sun, which is pretty funny. I don't know how they expect that. But yeah, and they would bang on pots and pans to scare away the dragon. Hide and seek. An eclipse occurs whenever one thing moves in front of another and hides it. The sun, moon, even stars can be eclipsed. A cloud can pass in front of the sun or moon and hide it. That's a kind of eclipse. The sun or moon can pass behind a tall building. That's a kind of eclipse too. If you put your hands up in front of your eyes to shield them from the sun, your hand is eclipsing the sun. These are only a few examples of eclipses. So it says an eclipse is when a cloud hides the sun, or when the sun moves behind from the building. Those are some examples of eclipse. And one that we can try is by putting our hands like this whenever we're looking towards the sun, so it shields our eyes from the sun. Eclipsing the sun. When the moon moves in front of the sun, a solar eclipse occurs. During a solar eclipse, the moon slowly passes in front of the sun until the sun is almost completely hidden. Then, the sun looks like a black circle, surrounded by a halo of reddish light. The halo is really the sun's atmosphere flaring around the rim of the darkened sun. As the sun moves past the face of the sun shines again. Solar eclipses only occurs when Earth, the moon, and the sun all line up in a straight line. So it's gotta be like this. An eclipse happens when a sun, like this whole big red yellow thing is the sun, and the moon and the earth all are in the same line, and then an eclipse happens because they're right in front of each other, right? And a reddish thing, it turns black, and then the reddish is something, there's red around the atmosphere. That is actually the sun's atmosphere. Okay, moon shadows. During a solar eclipse, the moon casts its shadow on Earth. This picture shows how this shadow might look from the moon. The moon's shadow has two parts. A small dark part at the center of the shadow, called the umbra, and the large lighter part surrounding the umbra called the penumbra. From Earth, you will see a solar eclipse if you are in either the umbra or penumbra of the moon's shadow. So this is what the moon's eclipse look like. It's either gonna be called the center. Oh, okay. So like the center part is called the umbra, and the surrounded part, this part, is called the penumbra. Okay, whole or part. If you're in the moon's umbra, you will see a total eclipse of the sun. But if you are in the penumbra, you will see only a partial eclipse. In a total eclipse, the moon completely covers the sun. In a partial eclipse, the moon hides parts of the sun. This makes the sun look as if a notch has been punched out of its edge, as shown above. Partial solar eclipses are more common than total eclipses. On the average, a total solar eclipse will occur at a given spot on Earth only once every 305 years. Okay, so that part that looks like it's punched is called the partial eclipse. Yeah, it's called the partial eclipse, and we only see this eclipse once every 350 years if we're alive. Okay, eclipsing the moon. Wait, didn't we already read this? Okay, no. Eclipsing the moon. When Earth moves directly between the sun and the moon, a lunar eclipse occurs. During a lunar eclipse, Earth's shadow travels across the face of the moon. The shadows blocks out the moonlight. But the moon does not return completely black. Sunlight passing through Earth's atmosphere bounces off the face of the moon. The light gives the eclipsed moon an eerie reddish-orange color. Unlike a solar eclipse, a lunar eclipse can be seen from every place on Earth where the moon is visible. So I don't think it's shown in here, or I think it might be this one, but it says a lunar eclipse is unlike the solar eclipse, and like from every view, if you can see the moon, then you can see the lunar eclipse, which is really cool because I couldn't see the solar eclipse. But that's sad. But that's okay. Okay. In and out of the umbra. A total lunar eclipse occurs when the umbra of Earth's shadow covers the moon's entirely. During the middle of a total lunar eclipse, the entire surface of the moon darkens for an hour or two. When only part of the umbra passes over the face of the moon, we have a partial lunar eclipse. During the middle of a partial lunar eclipse, the moon looks like as if a chunk has been taken out of it. Okay, so this one. When a umbra happens, it looks like a chunk of the moon has been taken out of it, as you can see right over here. That's pretty interesting. Okay, transits and occultations. When we can see eclipses with other planets and stars. We can see eclipses with other planets and stars such as Mercury and Venus, sometimes pass it in front of the sun. We call this event a transit. During a transit, Mercury and Venus look like tiny dots moving across the sun's surface. The picture on these pages show Mercury passing in front of the sun during a transit. During an occultation, a heavenly body blocks the light from a sun. Occultations often happen with double stars, which circles each other in close orbits. Sometimes one of the two stars passes in front of each other, blocking our view of the more distant star. The closest star occults or hides the other star. So it's going to be like this. These are called the transits and occultations, where mostly Mercury and Venus does. So I think this one is Mercury. Okay. To see or not to see. You need a telescope to get a good view of a transits and occultations. But for a lunar eclipse, you can just watch as the moon slowly turns reddish orange. Solar eclipses, however, are dangerous to watch unless you take special precautions. The sun's burning rays can damage your eyes. To watch a solar eclipse, poke a small hole in a piece of cardboard and hold the cardboard parallel to the ground. The hole will make an image of the sun that you can project onto a smooth, light-colored surface. Look down at the image and watch how it changes shape as the eclipse progress. A big warning. Never look directly at the sun. Never look at the sun through a telescope or binoculars. Of course, because suns are pretty dangerous because they're quite hot. So yeah. And here it explains that we can see a lunar eclipse by if we can just view the moon, then we can just look at the lunar eclipse. But for a transit and occultations, we need a telescope, the big things that scientists use to look through the planets, I'm guessing, or the stars, galaxies. And for a solar eclipse, is dangerous to look at it unless you have special precautions. So you have to make some unique type of glasses, but you can make it out of cardboard, so that's cool. An unearthly beauty. Which do you think would be more beautiful, a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse? Some people think that a sun's dramatic darkening makes a solar eclipse very exciting. Other people say that the strange orange glow of the eclipsed moon makes a lunar eclipse more haunting than the disappearing the sun. Most people agree that eclipses are among the most awe-inspiring events that we can witness in the heavens. Okay. So, I want you guys to write it down below. Which one do you think is better? A lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse? I personally like both, but let me know your guys' thoughts. And the end. We don't have any more to read, but I'm guessing that was a pretty good book, honestly, about what is an eclipse. Now we know. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you guys liked it. See you guys in the next video. Bye!